Hi guys, so today we are going to learn the concept of time and work. This is the first video of 3. In this we will learn the basic concept of how to solve time and work questions. Some of the students find it difficult, so we'll learn a very simple method that can be used to solve all or most of your questions. Okay? Right? So before we start, let's understand what is time, what is work, what is rate, right? So work is simply the work done by a person. So it could be that I'm solving 100 questions, so that 100 questions becomes my work. I am eating 20 chocolates, 20 chocolates becomes my work. So work is simply the work done by the person. Time is the time taken to do that work. Okay, time taken to do the work. For example, if I do 100 questions in 2 hours, so 2 hours is the time taken by me. Okay, and then comes rate. Rate, which is also called speed or efficiency, is simply the work that I can do per hour. It's simply the work I can do per unit time. So for example, if I say that I can solve 100 questions in 2 hours, then my speed is to solve 50 questions per hour. Right? If I say I can eat 20 chocolates in 4 hours, that means I can eat 5 chocolates per hour. So rate or efficiency is simply work done per unit time. Now if you think about it, it's very logical. If you just think about it, if I say that I can do 100 questions in 2 hours, right? By default we assume that okay, you are doing 100 questions in 2 hours, so we can figure out that you are doing 50 questions per hour. That's simply 100 by 2, 50 questions per hour, right? Right? If somebody is eating 20 chocolates in 4 hours, so we understand that they are doing 5 chocolates per hour. So the basic relationship between work and time that we understand from here is work is equal to rate into time. Okay, work is equal to rate into time. The work done by you is your rate or your efficiency multiplied by the number of hours or number of days or the time you are working for. Okay, I hope we understand this basic relationship. Right. So if you understand that work is rate into time, so then let's move to the next simple logic. Say I tell you that I can solve 100 questions in 2 hours. Okay, I am solving 100 questions in 2 hours. So my speed is 50 questions per hour, right? I have a younger brother, right, who can solve say 150 questions in 2 hours. So obviously his speed or his efficiency is better than mine. His is 75 questions per hour. Okay, now say the two of us sit together and study, okay, and solve questions. Okay, so then what will happen if the two of us sit together? We will say that we can solve 125 questions in an hour. See, theoretically, so we believe, right, that we won't start fighting with each other and stop wasting time, right? We'll simply solve I'll solve my 50 questions, he'll solve his 75 questions, right? So together we will do 125 questions per hour, right? Similarly, if you take another example, that say there are A and B, okay, A can eat 5 chocolates per hour, okay, B can eat 10 chocolates per hour. If they both come to your house and they sit for 1 hour, what will they do? They will eat 15 chocolates together. Okay, the point being that when people work together, the rate, the efficiency, the speed adds up, right? I hope it is making logical sense to you, right? So then the next concept that we understand from here is that when people work together, the rate adds up, right? Now there are certain situations when the rates can subtract also. Okay, Typical examples being, say there is a tank, there is an inlet pipe and outlet pipe. So what will happen? The inlet pipe will fill the water, whereas the outlet pipe will take the water out. So in that case, the rate of together will become rate of inlet minus rate of outlet. So the plus minus here will depend on the question. Okay, does that make sense? So if I combine whatever we have learned till now, right, what we understand is that there are two relationships which are quite logical. One, work is equal to rate into time. Second, when people work together, the rates, the net rate adds or subtract. Okay, so if you understand this logic, what we are going to do is we are going to learn a very simple method, a very simple table that you can make for each question and solve almost all of your questions. Okay, so you don't have to memorize methods, formulas and all. A simple table that will help you solve all the questions. Okay, the table will go like this. So you will write work, rate and time as your columns, sorry, rows, right? We will write work, rate, time as our rows. Okay, and then depending on the question, we will write the variables, say A, B, C. If A and B are working together, then A and B. If A is working alone, A dash, right? Okay, depending on the question, right, we can make our table. The reason I have put dash here is to tell myself that A is not completing the work. Okay, A is doing only portion of the work. Okay, as questions come, we will see the concept of dash, but for now, all you need to understand it, in my tables, columns, I write the variables. These are the people who are doing the work. Row is work, rate, time. Okay, that is for each person. The basic logical relationship, work is equal to rate into time, should be followed for each column. So for each column, your first row should be the product of last two. So for each column, rate into time should be equal to work. Okay, for A, for B, for C, for AB, whatever variables are there, this relationship needs to be followed. Similarly, if people work together, their rates add or subtract. So rate of AB will be rate of A plus or minus rate of B. Okay, so this is how we are going to make table for each and every question. Okay, the advantage of this method is you can visualize, or we can basically see everything in a simple format. You fill the table and the question will be solved. Okay, so before we jump to questions, let me give you simple steps that we need to follow to solve all the questions. And if you follow these steps, if you make the table correctly, trust me, you will be able to solve all the questions very easily. Right, so step number 1, okay, make / fill the table. Right, so we will read the question and we will quickly make our table. Step number 2, assume value of work if not given. So if the value of work is not given in the question, you can easily assume it. Okay, then the question will come that, okay, what value should I assume, right? So typically we assume LCM of the other values that are given. However, there is no hard and fast rule. You can assume any value of work that you want. Okay, simply take a value that is divisible by other given values. See, work gets divided by rate to give you time. Work gets divided by time to give you rate. Okay, so work, you simply take a big value which is easily divisible by all the other values given in the question. Now that we will solve some questions, you will see what to do or how to take these values. Step number 3, find rate in each case. Okay, step number 3 is we find the rate in each case. Okay, so once we have assumed the work, then we find the rate in each case or each scenario. Finally, complete the table. Right, complete the table, right, or solve the problem statement. Okay, you simply fill the table or complete the table. Whatever values are not given in your table, just solve them, complete them, and solve the problem statement. Okay, if you have understood this, then let's quickly jump to questions. Now that you have read the question, let's understand what is given to us. So we know there is a person Ram who can complete the work in 10 days. Similarly, there is a person Sam who can complete the work in 15 days. What do they want from us? If they work together, time taken to complete the work. Okay, so let's start by making our table. So we have Ram, we have Sam, and then Ram and Sam are working together. Right, we have work, rate, time. Okay, Ram takes 10 days to complete the work. Sam takes 15 days to complete the work. Right, and together, how long will they take? Okay, remember the relationship. Work is equal to rate into time, and if people work together, the rates add or subtract. Okay, step number 2, work is not given, so we can assume. Let's assume, see the LCM here is 30. Okay, but if you want, you can take a different number. So say I take 150, that the work is to eat 150 chocolates. Okay, what nice work, right? Eat all the chocolates. Okay, so you have 150 chocolates Ram is eating in 10 days. Okay, so step 3, find the rate. So rate of Ram is 15. He eats 15 chocolates per day. Similarly, rate of Sham, he eats 10 chocolates per day. So when they work together, they will eat 25 chocolates per day. Again, if you're wondering how did I get this? So see, this 15 is work by time, because I know the relationship work is rate into time. So this 15 is essentially 150 by 10. This 10 is essentially 150 by 15. And this 25 is 15 plus 10. Okay, when they work together, the rate adds up. So finally, fill the table or complete the table. Work is 150, rate is 25, so time taken is 6 days. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now as I said, this 150, the value of work, it's not necessary that you have to take 10 into 15, 150 only. Okay, we'll see, we can use a different value also to solve the question. Right. Let me just quickly erase this. Right. So again, I have Ram, Sam, Ram and Sam together, work, rate, time. Right. This is 10 days, 15 days, how many days? Now let me assume a different value for work. Say I assume 60 chocolates. So Ram eats 60 chocolates in 10 days. His rate becomes 60 by 10, which is 6 chocolates per day. So if you see, I've adjusted the value of work, so the rate or the efficiency has also adjusted. Sam, 60 chocolates in 15 days. So rate becomes 4 chocolates per day. So when they work together, combined rate becomes 10 chocolates per day. So if you look at the time, that's work by rate, which is again 6 days. Second question, right? So you will know we have two people A and B working together, finishing the work in 18 days. We know B alone takes 30 days. and the question wants us to know how long will A alone take. So again, step number 1, make the table, fill with the given values. So we have A and B are working together. We know B alone. We have to find A alone. Again, it's work, rate, time. Okay. Time for A and B together is 18 days. B alone 30 days. A alone is asked. Again, let's assume the number of chocolates, something that goes by 8 and 30, 18 and 30 both. Whatever number comes to your mind, 9, I just take 180, right? So the work done here is to eat 180 chocolates, right? Again, step 2 done, work assumed. Now let's find the rate in each scenario. So rate of A and B together, 180 by 18, that's 10 chocolates per hour or per day, right? Rate of B, 180 by 30, right, which is 6. Okay, now rate of A. Now think, A and B together eat 10 chocolates per day. Of that, B is eating 6. That means A is eating how many? 10 minus 6, that's 4 chocolates. Right? Rate is done. Final step, complete the table. A is eating 180 chocolates. He eats 4 chocolates per day. So time taken by A, 45 days. Alright, so if you have read this question type, you will know this is similar to the first one that we did. But instead of 2 people, now we have 3 people. Right? A takes 5 days, B 6 days, C 30 days, and we need ABC together. Right? So this question is exactly similar to our first question. Let's quickly make the table and solve. So you have A, B, C, and then all of them together. So that's work, rate, time. Alright, days are 5, 6, 30, and again, let's quickly take a value that goes by all of the 3. Let's say 30 only. Again, so the work becomes to eat 30 chocolates. So A is eating 30 chocolates in 5 days. So he eats 6 chocolates per day. Remember, work is rate into time. So rate is work by time. So for B, 30 by 6, which is 5 chocolates. Similarly, C, 1 chocolate a day. When people work together, whether they are 2 or 3, the rate adds up. Right? So when they work together, the rate will become 6 plus 5 plus 1, 12. Right? 6 plus 5 plus 1. Again, last step, fill the table. Work is to eat 30 chocolates, speed is 12. So how many days? 30 by 12. If you solve that, that's 5 by 2 or 2.5 days. If you look at this question type, there is an interesting thing that has happened. Now, again, we have our variable A, but we know time in 2 different units. So we have A is working for 7 days and 9 hours each. So we have days also, hours also. Similarly, B, 6 days of 7 hours each. And then they work together 6 hours a day. How many days? So again, we just make a slight adjustment to our table. Again, we write our variables. This is A, this is B, this is A and B together. Okay, we have our work, rate, time. Now how do I find my time? So time I can write as time in days, time in hours. Okay, so this is my total time. Okay, I have days, so A is working for 7 days of 9 hours each. B is working for 6 days of 7 hours each. A and B are working for, I don't know how many, say X days of 6 hours each. Okay, so total time taken by A. So if you are working 9 hours every day and you are working for 7 days, so you will charge for 63 hours. That's 7 into 9, 63 hours, right? Think about it, right? Similarly, B's total time will be 42 hours and A and B's combined time will be 6x hours. So what we have done is days and hours, we have combined them into total hours, which is my total time. So my time has become total time. Again, same steps, assume work, value that goes by both. So say I take 126, which is the LCM. So again, the work done is to eat 126 chocolates. 126 chocolates, 63 hours. That means A is eating 2 chocolates per hour. Okay, 126 chocolates in 63 hours. That means A is eating 2 chocolates per hour. Similarly for B, 126 chocolates in 42 hours. So that is 3 chocolates per hour. So when they work together, what happens to the rate? The rate adds up. So they are eating 5 chocolates per hour. Now if you see the final column, I have work, I have rate, I have time. We know the relationship. For every column, work has to be rate into time. So if we apply that, work, which is 126, is equal to rate, which is 5, into time, which is 6x. Right? If you solve this, 21 by 5 is x, which is 4.2 days. So there was a little bit of twist in the question, but you can just convert your time into total time and use the same table. I hope you understand this. Let's move to a different type now. So here we have Rahul is taking twice as much time as Manik and thrice as much time as Sachin. So we have 3 variables here: Rahul, Manik and Sachin. They work together and complete the job in 4 days. So they work together and they're completing the job in 4 days. So I have my work, rate, time. Right. This is 4 days. The question is, how long will Sachin alone take to finish the job? Alright, so we know Rahul is twice of Manik, but this is with respect to time, and thrice of Sachin again with respect to time. So if I write here, Rahul's time is 2 times Manik's time and Rahul's time is 3 times Sachin's time. Because of 2 and 3, we can do one thing. We can take Rahul's time as 6x. Okay, because it's a multiple of 2 and 3, I can take Rahul's time as 6x. So if I put this value here, I get Manik's time as 3x, which you can see Rahul is 2 times of Manik, and Sachin's time will become 2x. Rahul is 3 times of Sachin. Okay, again I have my variables here. Now what do I do? Step 2, assume work. So I'm looking for a value which is divisible by 6, 3, 2 and 4. Okay, on top of my head say 48. So again the work is to eat 48 chocolates. Okay, the work is to eat 48 chocolates. So again if I look at the rate of Rahul, 48 chocolates. Remember, work is rate into time. Rate is work by time. So rate of Rahul is 48 by 6x. If you solve it, that is 8 over x. Similarly, rate of Manik will become 16 over x. Rate of Sachin will become 24 over x. Now, if the three of them work together, when people work together, the rate adds up. So that is 8 over x plus 16 over x plus 24 over x. If you add all of it, that is 48 over x. Final step, for each column, the relationship work is equal to rate into time needs to be applied. So if I apply for the RMS column, right, if I apply for the RMS column, work is 48, rate is 48 over x, time is 4. 48 and 48 cancel out, you get x as 4. Okay, let's read the question again. The question is, how long will Sachin take to finish the job? Okay, so if you look at it, Sachin will take 2x, that is 2 times 4, 8 days. Okay, so even if a relationship between time is given, you can still assume a value and find in terms of x. Okay, let's move to the next question type. If you have read the question, you will realize here we have people working together, right? Sets of people working together. So A and B together are finishing the work in 15 days, B and C 20 days, A and C 12 days. Okay, so no problem. Again, you just make the table, but now you write AB, BC, AC. The question is for ABC. Again, work, rate, time. Right, we know it's 15 days, 20 days, 12 days, and how many days. Right, now that the table is complete, step number 2, assume a value for work. Say I take it as 120. So now remember, it's not A alone. A and B together are eating 120 chocolates in 15 days. So the rate will become 120 by 15, which is 8. So 8 is not the rate of A and B. It's not 4 and 4. Together it is 8. I don't know how much for A. I don't know how much for B. Similarly, B and C, the work is 120. Time is 20. So combined rate is 6. A and C, work is 120. Time is 12. Combined rate is 10. Okay. Now if I add all the three, right, that is what we do when people work together, the rate adds up. So if we add all the three, 8 plus 6 plus 10, right, that's 24. But remember, this 24 is not the rate of ABC. See, this 8 is actually rate of A plus rate of B. This 6 is rate of B plus rate of C. And this 10 is rate of C plus rate of A. So when I add all the three, this 24 is actually 2 times the rate of A plus B plus C. Okay, see here, if you see 8, 6, 10, if I add it, what is happening? AB is getting added to BC and AC. If I add, A has come twice, B has come twice, and C has come twice. So this 24 is 2 times the rate of ABC. So rate of ABC is 12. Okay, don't just add and become happy. Okay, remember it's rate of twice, 2 times ABC. So rate of ABC is 12. Now, final step, we know work is 120. Rate is 12, time taken 120 by 12, 10 days. So A, B and C will finish the work in 10 days. Okay, I think we should have given one option as 5 days, so that people who just do 24 and become happy, they might get 5 days, right? That's again, let's look at a different type of question now, right? So they say A's 1 day work to B's 1 day work. What do we understand from 1 day work? It's nothing but rate or efficiency. Okay, what do we understand from 1 day work? It's nothing, it's simply rate or efficiency. Okay, so we know we have two people, A, B and again AB. Work, rate, time, right? Let's again fill all the information that is given to us. From line number 1, I know the ratio of their efficiency is 3:2. Efficiency or rate is written here. If the ratio is 3:2, we can write efficiency of A is 3x, efficiency of B is 2x. Okay, what we understand from here, RA by RB is 3 by 2. This does not mean that rate of A is 3 and rate of B is 2. It's the ratio which is 3:2, could be 30:20 also. That is why we are writing the 3x and 2x. Together they complete the work in 20 days. So this time is 20. Question is, how long will B alone take to do the job? Okay, now see, we already know the rate. Okay, we know time. So instead of assuming work, we can just solve it here itself. See, rate of A is 3x, rate of B is 2x. So when they work together, rate becomes 5x. Now if you look for work of A and B, rate is 5x. Again, work is rate into time. So rate 5x, time 20. So work will become 100x. That means the total work is 100x. So for B also, the work is 100x when B works alone, and when A works alone, for him also the work is 100x. Okay, so here we did not assume the work. Okay, we can directly solve. Question is time for B. Time for B will be work by rate, which is 50. Right, time for B will be work of B by rate of B, which is 50. Right, moving to a different type now. Again, they say A 60% efficient as B, no problem. We know what are they talking about. Efficient means efficiency. They are talking about rate here. A alone does the job in 15 days, so that is time for A alone. Question is, B alone will take how much time? So here I just have two columns, A and B. Again, my table, work, rate and time. Okay, let's solve line number 1 first. A is 60% as efficient as B. So again, I don't know efficiency of B. Let that be x. A is 60%. So A is 0.6x. Okay, 60% is 0.6. That's 60 by 100. A alone takes 15 days. Fine. Time taken by B. If you see, this is similar to your previous question. No need to assume work. We can find the work from here. Work will be rate into time. So that's 0.6x into 15. If you solve, that is 9x. Okay, work is rate into time. Okay, now A and B are doing the same work. So if work for A is 9x, work for B is also 9x. Work is 9x, rate is x, time will be 9 days. Alright, a different question type now. See, till now we had A is doing whole work, B is doing whole work. But what if he doesn't do the whole work? What if he does only a part of the work? Okay, so we have A doing 1/4 of the work in 5 days, B doing the remaining work. This is important, not the whole work, the remaining work in 10 days. How many days will both of them take together? I said, okay. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the fourth slide or the third slide, when I was showing you how to make the table, I told you that I will put a dash. Okay, I'll put a dash if A is not completing the whole work. Right? So this is that scenario. So instead of writing A, I will write A dash. This dash tells me that A has not completed the whole work. Similarly, B dash, because B is not completing the whole work, B is completing only the remaining work. Right? And the question is, if they work together, how long will they take to complete the whole work? Now, A and B are supposed to complete the whole work. So there is no dash here. A and B are completing the whole work. Again, we have work, rate, time, 5 days, 10 days. Again, no rate given. So we will assume work. Right? I know A is doing 1/4. So let me take a value which is multiple of 4, 5 and 10. Right? Because we always take a value which is multiple of these. So say my total work is 200. You can take 40, 80, anything you want. Okay, say the total work is 200. Now A is not doing the whole work. This dash tells me that A is doing 1/4 of 200, which is 50. So again, there are 200 chocolates in total. A is eating 1/4 of it. So A is eating 50 chocolates. B is doing the remaining work. So B is coming and eating the remaining 150 chocolates. Okay. When they work together, they are supposed to finish the whole work, that is 200 chocolates. Okay. So be very mindful of the work that is given and take the values accordingly. Now that we have our work, step 3, find rate in each scenario. Rate of A, 50 chocolates 5 days, 10 chocolate per day. Rate of B, 150 chocolate in 10 days, 15 chocolates a day. If they work together, the rate adds up, 25 chocolates a day. Time taken, 200 by 25, that's 8 days. Okay, so remember, if the work is 1/4, 1/2 something, take that. Most important point, you write a dash here. This is to tell yourself that A is not doing the whole work. Similarly, B is not doing the whole work. So that when I write, I know that this 150 is not the complete work. This 50 is not the complete work. Okay, I hope you understand this. Again, moving to a different question type. Right, see, till now they were working together and finishing the whole work. What if, right, they fight in between and B leaves before or A leaves before, right? Basically, they don't work together and finish the whole work. Then what do we do? Nothing. Make the same table. Just adjust it according to the conditions given. Right. So we have A and B complete the whole work in 10 days. Right. But what happens? B leaves 4 days before the completion of the work. So had they worked together, they could have finished the whole work in 10 days. But for some reason, B left 4 days before the completion of the work. Okay. If A alone completes the entire work in 40 days, so A alone can do the work in 40 days. How many days was the work finished? Okay. Again, I don't know how many days it took. So let the days be X, right? Total days, let that be X. Again, my table A and B, okay, they can finish the whole work in 10 days. Okay, so that is why I have put A and B. Remember, I have not put a dash because they can complete the whole work in 10 days. So this AB is for finishing the whole work. Now, what is happening in real life? They are working for some time. Okay, now I have put a dash because this tells me this is the real scenario where B is leaving 4 days before the work got completed, which tells you that if B leaves, then who will finish the work? A has to work alone and finish the remaining work. Again, this is not A dash, because I know dash means A is not doing the whole work, he is only doing portion of the work. Okay, and then my final column, this is for my second statement. A alone can complete in 40 days. So this is when A alone works. Again, my work, rate and time, right? Again, let me recall A and B, when they are completing the whole work, that is why I have not written any dash here. A and B, when they are completing the whole work, they take 10 days. Okay, this is your hypothetical scenario. What is happening is B is leaving 4 days before the completion of the work. If total days is X, A and B are working together for X minus 4 days. Okay, if your total days are X, total time taken to finish the work, I don't know, let that be X. So B is leaving 4 days before. That means A and B are working for X minus 4 days together, which means the last 4 days A is coming to complete the work. Okay, if B has left 4 days before, then who's working for the last 4 days? A. And since A is not completing the whole work, he is doing only the remaining work. That is why I put a dash here, right? Moving on to the next statement, A alone finishes the whole work in 40 days. So that is why no dash here. Okay, A alone finishes the whole work in 40 days. So 40 comes here because here I will write A is doing the whole work. Okay, so this is how I make my table. Next step, assume work 10, 4, 40. Let's take the work as 80. Now be careful, don't write 80 everywhere. A and B doing the whole work, that is why 80. A alone doing the whole work, that is why 80. A and B doing some portion of the work. A alone doing the remaining portion of the work. So I can't write 80 here. Step 3, find rate in each case. Rate of A and B together, 80 by 10, that's 8. Rate of A alone, 80 by 40, that is 2. Now A, if he does alone the remaining work, his rate will remain the same, that is 2. And A and B, if they work together for a portion of the time, their rate will remain the same, that is 8. I hope that makes sense. Now last step, fill the table. Rate of A is 2, time is 4 days. So work done by him, 4 into 2, 8. That means in the last 4 days, A has finished 8 units of the work, or say chocolates. So if A eats 2 chocolates a day, last 4 days he will eat 8 chocolates. Total I had 80 chocolates. In the last 4 days, A ate 8 chocolates. That means A and B together must have finished 72 chocolates together. A and B must have finished 80 minus 8, 72 chocolates together. Again, for each column, work is equal to rate into time. Work is 72. Rate of A and B is 8. Time is x minus 4. We solve this. We get x as 13. That means the work actually got over in 13 days. Okay, so I hope you see there was a twist here, but again, you can simply make your table to solve the question. Again, a different question type, sort of similar to the previous one. Multiple people are leaving the work now. Okay, so let's look at it. ABC, they start the job together. After 3 days, A leaves. After another 2 days, B leaves. C has to finish the work alone. Okay, no problem. Let's make a table. Let's see who's working when. When the work started, all the 3 ABC were working. Did they finish the work? No. So that is why we will put a dash here to tell us that they are doing only a portion of the work. They work for 3 days because after that A leaves. So A, B, C work together only for 3 days. After another 2 days, B leaves. So ABC worked for 3 days, A left. So who worked? B and C continued working. Again, did they finish the work? Again, no. Put a dash. They are working for 2 days, then B leaves. So they worked for 2 days together. B left, which means C alone had to do the work. Okay, again, did C do the whole work? No, he did only a portion of the work. He took 4 more days to finish the work, which is fine. So 4 days. I also know A alone completes the whole work in 12 days. A alone completes the whole work. That is why no dash. Whole work in 12 days. C alone completes the whole work in 18 days. Question is, how long will B alone take to do the whole work? So again, ABC start working, don't finish the whole work, that is why dash. B and C continue the work, don't finish the whole work, that is why dash. C alone finishes the remaining work, not the whole work, that is why dash. A alone can do the whole work, C alone can do the whole work. Right? This is my table. Step number 2, find work or assume a value for work. So any number that goes by all of these. Okay, so say I take the work as 36. Right. So remember, I can't write 36 here. Okay, I can't write 36 here because they are not doing the whole work. A and C are doing it. So work 36, work 36. B has to finish the whole work. So work 36. Okay, step number 3, find the rate in each scenario. Rate of A, 36 chocolates in 12 days, 3 chocolates a day. Rate of C, 36 chocolates in 18 days, sorry. So rate 2. Rate of B, I don't know. Okay, now let's start backward solving. I know C alone, rate is 2. Okay, rate of B, I don't know, let that be X. Okay, rate of B, I don't know, let that be X. So if C alone is working, rate will be 2. If B and C are working, rate of B and C will add up, because when people work together, the rate adds up. If A, B and C work together, the rate will add up, which is simply 5 plus X. Okay, complete the table. C works for 4 days at a rate of 2. So he eats 8 chocolates. B and C work together for 2 days. So they do 2 into 2 plus x. Okay, A, B, C work together for 3 days. So they do 3 into 5 plus x. But together, in this scenario, they finish the whole work. Together, in this scenario, they finish the whole work. So 3 into 5 plus x plus 2 into 2 plus x plus 8 is equal to 36. Right, if we just solve, 15 plus 3x plus 4 plus 2x plus 8 is 36. 5x is 9, x is 1.8. 5x is 9, x is 1.8, or simply 9 by 5. So again, rate of B is 9 by 5. So how much time will B take alone? 36 by 9 by 5, which is 36 into 5 by 9. That's 20 days. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now, there is another way in which we can solve the same question slightly more quickly. Okay, there is another way in which we can solve this question in a slightly more faster way. Okay, so let's look at that. Alright, let's look at different way of solving the same question. Our table will look similar with a slight twist in it. Okay, since we already know the question, I'll quickly write everything down. A alone, B alone, C alone. Right. Right. This is my work rate time. Now we'll change our thought process a little bit. I know A alone can do the whole job in 12 days. C alone can do the whole job in 18 days. B's time I need to find. We'll take the same value of work as before so that there is similarity or symmetry in the two questions. I know rate of A is 3. I know rate of C is 2. Rate of B I don't know. Okay. Now what we will do is, instead of thinking that A, B, C are together working for the first 3 days, then B and C are working for 2 days, then C is working for 4 days, we'll simply think of them individually. So think of it like you have daily wage workers and you are supposed to pay them. Okay. Now what happens? A came for first 3 days, then B and C came for next 2 days, then C came for the last 4 days. Now after all of these 9 days, the time has come for you to make the payment. Okay. So you will pay all of them separately. A we will pay for how many days? 3 days, because he only came and worked for the first 3 days. So instead of clubbing A with B and C, right, we are counting A alone. A alone worked for 3 days. Right, A alone worked for 3 days. Okay, then I know B. Now B's turn. So B worked for first 3 days when A was also there, then worked for 2 additional days. So B worked for a total of 5 days. Okay, and finally C. C worked for the entire duration. First 3 days with ABC, right? Next 2 days with B alone, and then finally last 4 days when he was working alone. So that is 3 plus 2 plus 4, a total of 9 days. Okay, so this is a different way of thinking about it. Instead of clubbing A, B, C, what are we doing? We are saying, let me think separately. Okay, you work together. Okay, A worked in total for 3 days. So I will think of A only for 3 days. B 5 days, 5 days. C 9 days, 9 days. Okay. Now if you look at the rates, rate of C is 2, rate of A is 3. So C, in the 9 days that he worked, right from day number 1 to day number 9, at rate of 2, he finished 18 chocolates. Okay, C came from the beginning till the end. Every day he eats 2 chocolates. So in 9 days, he ate a total of 18 chocolates. Similarly, A eats 3 chocolates a day. He came only for the first 3 days. So he ate a total of 9 chocolates. I know I had only a total of 36 chocolates. That means B ate how many? 36 minus 9 minus 18. 18 for C, 9 for A, 27 gone. So that means B must have eaten 9 chocolates in the 5 days. So rate of B becomes 9 by 5. You see, this value is same as what we got last time. But because there is no X and all, this is slightly easier and faster. Rate of B is 9 by 5. Time taken by B, 36 by 9 by 5, which is again 20 days. Okay, so it's completely on you. You can club them and say ABC are working, so I want to write ABC, no problem. Or you can think of them individually, separately, and then just write the total number of days they are each working. Okay, I hope you understand both the methods. Look at the next question type. Now here what is happening? Somebody is leaving, somebody is joining. Now we have already looked at 2 cases where people are leaving midway. That's fine. Somebody else joins. That is also fine. What do? We again make our table. Right. Let's start with that. A and B finish the job in 20 days. So if A and B are working alone, right, they can finish the job in 20 days. So for them, they are finishing the whole work. That is why no dash, right? They are finishing the whole work in 20 days. I know that they start working and B leaves after 12 days. So this is my AB dash 12 days. Okay. The next day C joins A and they finish the work in 40 more days. So after 12 days, the 13th day C joins A. Again CA dash, because they are not doing the whole work. They finish the remaining work in 40 days. We know A alone takes 120 days to finish the whole work. That is why no dash. A alone 120 days to finish the whole work. Question is, how long will C alone take? Okay. Again, values are given. Let's assume, say my total work is 600. Right. Again, don't make this mistake that I just made. Right? We can't write 600 here. There is a dash here. Okay. See, that is why the dash is important, because it tells you A and B are not doing the whole work. Okay. So A and B doing the whole work. So 600. A alone doing the whole work. 600. C alone doing the whole work. 600. Step 3. Find the rate. Rate of A and B together. 600 by 20. That is 30. So then when they work together, the rate remains same, 30. Rate of A, 600 by 120, that is 5. Okay, so rate of A is 5. Okay. Next step, let's try and fill the table. A and B, the rate is 30, time is 12. So together they will do 360 units. 30 per day for 12 days. 360 units. Which means C and A are supposed to do the remaining 240 units, and to do these 240 units they are taking 40 days. So combined rate is 240 by 40, which is 6. C and A, the rate is 6, so that means A and C can eat 6 chocolates a day. A alone eats 5 chocolates a day. So how many chocolates does C eat per day? 6 minus 5, which is 1. So work is 600, rate is 1, Time taken by C to do the whole work, 600. So C alone can finish the job in 600 days. Let's move to the next question type. Now we have group of people. Okay, see, so far we had A, B, these were all individual people. Now that you have group of people, again nothing changes, right? But by default we assume both the men will work at same efficiency and all the three boys will work at same efficiency. Okay, both the men will work at same efficiency, all the three boys will work at same efficiency. Okay, again we make the table, 2 men, 3 boys, 10 days. So instead of A, I write 2M plus 3B because 2 men plus 3 boys are taking 10 days. Then we have 3 men and 2 boys finish the same job in 8 days. So 3 men plus 2 boys finish the job in 8 days. Question is, how long will 2 men plus 1 boy take? How long will 2 men and 1 boy take? Okay, so we have 10 days, 8 days, let the work be 80. And remember, they are finishing the whole work, so no dash. They are also supposed to finish the whole work. Right. Next step, find the rate. Rate is 8, 80 by 10. Rate is 10, 80 by 8. But remember, this 8 is the rate of 2 men and 3 boys. Okay, if I write it here, 2 men plus 3 boys, the rate is 8. 3 men plus 2 boys, the rate is 10. You see, we have two variables and two equations. Okay, we have two variables and two equations. Okay, we solve them using simultaneous equation, elimination method or substitution method, and find M and B. That will give me rate of one man, rate of one boy. Okay, so I multiply this by 3, multiply this by 2 and subtract. So 6 men cancels out. 9 boys minus 4 boys is 5 boys. 24 minus 20 is 4. Rate of boys is 0.8. Okay, rate of boys is 0.8. Okay, now I substitute back this in any one of the two equations. Okay, so 2m plus 3 into 0.8 is equal to 8. 2m is equal to 5.6. M is equal to 2.8. So rate of one man is 2.8. Okay, putting this here, we have 2 men and 1 boy working. So the rate will become 2 into 2.8, 2 into rate of man plus rate of boy, that's 6.4. Okay, so rate of 2 men and 1 boys becomes 6.4. Okay, so again time taken, work by rate, that's 800 by 64, 100 by 8, 12.5. Okay, so even if you have multiple men or mixture of men boys, doesn't matter. Okay, the only thing you have to think about is this rate is not one man's rate or one boy's rate. This rate is their combined rate. So we just make an additional effort, make the equation and find, okay, the rate of each separately. Okay, now this is one way, your basic simple table way to solve it. Okay, when we do our part 2 of this series, okay, when we do advanced concepts, little bit more tricks, right, we can solve the same question more quickly. Okay, I'll just give you a hint of it. Okay, this is called the NRT WC method. Okay, some of you might have already heard it, but I'll show you how to apply it here. Okay, so I'm giving a snippet. Do not worry, we'll be covering this in the next class or next lecture anyways. So we have nRT, right, by W is equal to N1 R1 T1 by W1 is equal to N2 R2 T2 by W2, where N is number of people involved, R is the rate or efficiency or speed, T is the time taken by them, W is the work done by them. Okay, again, do not worry, I'll be teaching this or I'll be covering this in the next part. I just thought that because we are doing this question, I'll just show you a different way of solving it. Okay, so N in this question, N is 2 men plus 3 boys. Rate we don't know, that's okay. Time is given to me as 10 days. Work, they are all doing the same work, so we did not write work, we just write N1 T1 is equal to N2, that is 3 men plus 2 boys, okay, into 8. So you have N1 T1 is equal to N2 T2. Here M and B are the rate of man, rate of boy. If we just solve this, we get 20M plus 30B is 24M plus 16B. Okay, we get 14B is equal to 4M, M is equal to 3.5B. So we get a relationship between men and boys. This is with respect to their rate. Okay, we get a relationship between men and boys. This is with respect to their rate. Now they want 2 men and 1 boy. We make the same equation N1 T1. So I know 2 men and 3 boys take 10 days. So 2 men and 1 boy will take how many days? Okay, 2 men and 1 boy will take how many days? Right? In place of M, I will put 3.5B. In place of man, I put 3.5B. So this will become 3.5 into 2, 7. 7 boys plus 3 boys into 10 is equal to 7 boys plus 1 boy into T3. This is 100 boys by 8 boys is T3. If you see, it's the same calculation as before, 100 by 8, which is 12.5 days. Again, do not worry, this will cover in the next part of our lecture. Again, let's look at a different type now. Now they are saying they are going to work alternatively. Okay, so they are working together but not on the same day. Okay, they are coming alternatively. Okay, no problem. Let's work it out. So we have A and B can do a piece of work in 12 days and 10 days. So we have work, rate, time, right? Starting with A on first day. So A starts the work, then B joins. Okay, A starts the work and then B joins the next day. Okay, and they work alternatively. Again, let my work be 60 units. Again, the dash tells you A is not completing the whole work, B is not completing the whole work. So day number 1, A eats 5 chocolates. Day number 2, B eats 6 chocolates. Okay, so what happens? I have 2 friends, A and B. Whenever A comes to my house, eats 5 chocolates in the day. When B comes to my house, he eats 6 chocolates in a day. Okay, they don't come on the same day, they come on alternate days. I have a total of 60 chocolates with me. Okay, in how many days will they finish the whole chocolates? Okay, so if you look at it, day 1, 5 chocolates are gone because A will come on day 1, right? Day 1, A comes and eats 5 chocolates. Day 2, B comes and eats 6 chocolates. So if I look at after 2 days, okay, if I look at it after 2 days, 11 chocolates are gone. Okay, after 2 days, 11 chocolates are gone. So every 2 days, 11 more chocolates will be gone. total I have 60. So let me multiply this by a number so that I can reach close to 60. So I multiply this by 5. That tells me that in 10 days 55 chocolates are gone. Okay, so starting with A came on day 1, then B, then A, then B, then A, then B. Like this, in 10 days they finished 55 chocolates. Okay, so a total of 10 days they have finished 55 chocolates. Now it's the 11th day. Okay, now it is the 11th day. Okay, it is A's turn. Okay, it is 11th day, it is A's turn. 5 chocolates are left. Rate of A is 5. He will finish those chocolates in 1 day. So that means 10 days, 55 were gone. 11th day, A came and finished the rest. So working alternatively, they finish the chocolates in 11 days. Okay. Right. Final question of this part. Right. If you are still here, thank you for bearing with me. I hope we could help you understand, or we could help you learn a very simple way of solving all of these questions. Right. Now we have multiple workers. This is something similar to example number 13 that we did. Okay, and since I showed that also in 2 different ways, I'll tell you this also in both the ways. So we have 40 workers completing the work in 24 days. So again, I write 40 workers. Instead of A, I write 40 W. Work rate time. Okay, they complete the work in 24 days. What happens in reality? After 4 days, 10 more workers join. So this 40 workers dash will come now. Why? Because they are not completing the whole work. They are doing only a certain portion of the work. They are working only for 4 days. Okay. What happens after these 4 days? 10 more workers join. So now you have 50 workers. These 50 workers are finishing the remaining work. Question is, how many days? Okay, question is, how many days? Okay, again, let's take a value which goes by all of this. So I see 24, 4, I see 40 also. Let's assume the total work as 960 chocolates. Something that goes by these numbers. Okay, so I'm assuming the total work to be 960 chocolates. So 40 people eat 960 chocolates in 24 days. That means they are eating 960. They are eating 960 by 24, 40 chocolates a day. So 40 workers eat 40 chocolates a day. That means one worker eats 1 chocolate per day. So the rate of one worker is 1 chocolate. Now what is happening? These 40 workers, so their rate will be 40 chocolates, are working for 4 days. Okay, 50 workers, rate will become 50 chocolates because each worker is eating 1 chocolate a day. 40 workers, 4 days, they will eat 160 chocolates. So how many chocolates are remaining? 800. Okay, rate of 50 workers is 50. So how many days will they take? 800 by 50, which is 16 days. Okay, which is 16 days. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now, as I said, it's the same question which is your NRT method. So we can apply that also here to solve this more quickly. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, I'll just write that here. So see, you have 40 workers. That's your number, right? 24 days, that's your time. They can finish the whole work in 24 days. But 4 days are already gone. Okay, 4 days are already gone. So what is the reality today? Right? 4 days are gone. Right? 4 days are done. So these 40 workers will finish the remaining chocolates in 20 days because they have already consumed chocolates for 4 days. So if they look at it today, the 40 workers are supposed to finish the remaining chocolates in 20 days. Now 50 workers will finish the same number of chocolates in how many days? So we have the formula there, N1T1 is equal to N2T2. Okay, so we have number 40 into 20 is equal to number 50 into T2. If you solve this, T2 will be 60. Okay, again, you do not have to worry. We will cover this in our next lecture. Okay, again, thank you guys for hearing me out. Okay, I hope this lecture was useful to you and you were able to understand how you can very easily conceptually solve all the questions of work rate time, okay, or time and work, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to learn any formulas, just make a simple table and you can very easily solve all the questions very quickly. Hi guys, so I hope you like the way we covered this topic. Remember, this was a concept builder video wherein we covered a simple concept and try to solve all the questions using that concept. There is an advanced video with more tricks, right, that will come as part of this series. If you have any doubts, you can post them in the comment section and we can make a solution video for that. Also, you can practice free material of the same topic from our website, okay, and take those tests.